It's that time of year again where we rank every single flavor of G Fuel, but before I do it, I want to have more fun, so I'm going to go blonde in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Now I can properly taste G Fuel and have fun. YouTube! Every single year, I rank every flavor of G Fuel. And this year is no different. I'm taking every single one of the tons of flavors that G Fuel has, and I'm ranking them for you guys, so you know what the best is all the way down to the worst. Now this is going to be very simple. I've made 1 cup of every flavor of G Fuel. I'm only taking 1 sip from each of the cups, and I will be rating each of these sips on a scale of 1 to 100. Very end, we will tally everything up, see what the best score was, all the way down to the worst score. If you want more content like this, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss anything from me on the channel. Other than that, let's rank every single flavor of G Fuel. Number 1, we have pink lemonade. Classic flavor, better than the original lemonade. I feel like this adds a bit more of a sour element that the original doesn't give you. But this is a very strong contender for our first flavor of the day. Let's go ahead and try it out, and I'll rate it 1 out of 100. That's sour. I gotta remember, I can only take a sip of each of these so I don't go into like cardiac arrest from all the caffeine. But off of the first one here, I would give this a solid 90. Solid 90, not too bad. I really like this. This is not bad at all. Now next up is not gonna be as strong of a start as the first flavor was with the peach cobbler. Now this flavor inside of milk, phenomenal. But inside of water, I remember it tasting like a Yankee Candle. But that was a long time ago. Let's see if it's any different now. That's worse than a Yankee Candle, bro. There is like a creaminess factor and like a little bit of a peach taste that comes through too. But out of 100, nothing more than like a 25. Very low. Battle Juice is up next. And this was originally supposed to go to FaZe Tfue at the time before, you know, all that stuff happened. But it turns out a lot of stuff happened and they actually just gave this to FaZe Clan. So now we have the Battle Juice, which is a pineapple flavor. One of the many flavors inspired by FaZe Clan. I remember this being very tasty. Smells really good too. Very strong pineapple scent. Let's give this one a go. Ooh, light on the tongue, very sweet. In contrast to the first flavor, totally different. The flavor profile is really nice too. It's not like a cheap type of pineapple. It tastes like fresh pineapple juice out of like one of those cans. I think out of 100, it's not as good as the pink lemonade, but I put it around like the 68-ish mark. Guava! Now this is one that I loved for a long time, but recently I've just fallen off of, have not had in a very long while. Inspired by Castro, I remember being a lighter and sweeter flavor. Probably gonna be a little bit better than the Battle Juice and definitely the peach cobbler. Give number 4 a try as well. Ooh, guava taste is so refreshing. That's one difference with this flavor than a lot of other G Fuel flavors. It's one of the most refreshing fruit flavors out there. And this is easily a 71 from me. Going way back for a lemon lime, and you can see that I didn't even know how to handle my G Fuel at this point in time of getting this tub. Typically, you should leave the top ring on so you have the full design of the tub there, but I just always ripped it off back in the day. So you know it's a really OG tub. And being as it's kind of halfway full, I don't know if I ended up loving it as much as I thought I did. I haven't drank a lot in years, but we're about to now. We're gonna rank it. Ooh, I remember liking this a little bit better in last year's ranking. Maybe it's just that the tub is old, but that sourness flavor, not as strong as it used to be. Just kind of tastes watered down. 1 full scoop in here and everything, so I don't know. Gonna give this one a 45. A recent flavor that I did a review on, this was inspired by Monster Hunter Rise. I don't actually remember the fruits inside of this flavor, but I know that it has jackfruit. I didn't really love jackfruit. Will I love it today though? That's the question. Fascinating enough, tastes very similar to guava. It's better than the peach cobbler. Not quite as good as the Battle Juice though. I think this would be safe to give like a 49. A strong contender coming into the match right here at the beginning. Right out the gates, this one is gonna make some waves. Ice Shatter at the current moment, from what I remember, is my favorite G Fuel flavor. Will this hold up throughout the entirety of today's ranking? I'm not really sure. I know it's gonna be a good rating to start, so let's go ahead and try this one out. I'll let you guys know what I think. It's so well balanced. The tanginess and the sweetness of that frosted strawberry. I really haven't tasted anything else quite like this. They haven't done a ton of things with strawberry flavors yet. The things that they have done, they've absolutely knocked out of the park. Gonna give this one a 96. Now, I'm excited to try this one because I filmed a review on this. It never came out, but the Maiden's Blood is inspired by Resident Evil Village. Got big, tall, mommy vampire lady on the front. Containing lychee. It's kind of a weak thing for me. You can see that with the mystery flavor we'll have later today. There's some other melon-like fruits in here, so let's see if it actually holds up. kind of like that better than I thought I would. Don't get me wrong, the lychee takes points off of the citrusy flavors going on in here. It's not quite as overpowering as something as the mystery flavor probably will be. I know it's actually better than some of the things we've had so far, so I'm gonna put it right in like the middle area with a 63. Next up, we have the orange Cranfoni, inspired by Merc Anthony, a content creator friend of mine who grinded for his own flavor over on TikTok for 1 year straight. He drank G Fuel for 1 whole year and they gave him his own flavor. Just a huge congrats to Merc again for getting this flavor. The orange cranberry is so unique and very tasty. It's very tart and I really enjoy that. It smells great. It's been one of my favorites lately. Let's go ahead and give it a go. There's nothing else quite like this in the eyeshadow yet. Tangy things are gonna be a theme for me, and this is no exception. How they incorporate the tang of the cranberry along with the citrusy fruits of the orange stands out to me a whole bunch. I know that anybody that enjoys these fruits will actually like this mix. I'm gonna give this a 93 out of 100. Next up is the Pewdiepie, or the Lingenberry. Again, another really tart flavor. This has been in my top 10 for the last couple of years. It's Lingenberry flavor, which is kind of similar to a cranberry for me. How will it fare against the rest of our flavors today? Ooh, the difference with this one and something like the orange Cranfoni is this has a sweet edge off. So you take a sip of this and it initially has that zing of like the Lingenberry, but there's a sweetness factor that kind of sits with you after you take a sip. And I like that, but I don't know if I like it quite as much as I like the orange Cranfoni. I'm gonna give it a 90. All right, so next up we got the Summit 1G Summit Sickle. This is one of the more newer flavors. This is one of our more recent flavors, obviously being a raspberry creamsicle. We originally thought that Summit was gonna get the orange creamsicle, but KSI was the one to get that flavor. I did try this out already. I don't think I have a review out at the moment. I thought this was pretty good inside of water, fantastic inside of milk, nice raspberry flavor, very creamy taste. Try this out as well. It's just so light inside of that water in comparison to the milk. If this was a ranking every flavor inside of milk video, this would be top 10 easily. But because it is so light and it's a very, very sweet flavor, inside of water, it's not nearly as good as it is inside of milk. For that reason, I'll give it a 69. So next up is a flavor that I have not tried yet. This will be my first taste test of the raspberry pie G Fuel flavor. I just opened it up for this video. I have not filmed anything else on it. Gonna get my first initial thoughts on this one, rank it out of 100. I've run out of G Fuel cups for this recording, so I'm using a Walmart brand cup. It smells very custardy, like that crust of the pie. It's very similar to the peach cobbler, but raspberry was also in the very last flavor we just had. So I don't know, maybe it'll be a little bit better than peach cobbler. Let's try this out. That's a fascinating one. I was certain that this was probably going to be good inside of milk as well instead of water. But off of tasting this here, I'm actually kind of surprised. Way, way better than the peach cobbler. It doesn't taste like a Yankee Candle, and it doesn't taste like it needs to be in milk to be good. However, there's like a cinnamoniness or like a butteriness that's coming from the crust of the pie that I think it would translate well into milk. However, I like the initial taste. It's very sweet inside of water. There is a little bit of an aftertaste that I'm not crazy about. Let's go ahead and give this one a 58. Going back to a summer release for this year, we have the Clickbait, which is a conglomeration of a lot of different fruits. I believe it's pomegranate, watermelon, and cherry. I'm excited to revisit this one. It smells really good. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Ooh, yeah, very similar to like a cherry Kool-Aid taste. Pomegranate is very profound in this flavor. I feel like if you like things that are a little bit more sweet, that have just an edging off of a bit of a tangy taste, you'll be a fan of this. Gonna get a 67. We got the first classified flavor, which came out last year. Everybody was trying to decode what this flavor is. Apparently, it was the Flavor Bomb, which came out later for the Free Guy movie. I'm still gonna taste this one and the Free Guy flavor. See if there's any difference. Give ratings on both of these. Let's taste the first one, see what we think. Yeah, it's like a cotton candy, watermelon, vanilla. Initially, I don't think any of us guessed cotton candy, watermelon, but it's very good. It's extremely sweet flavor. I think I would probably get this no higher than like a 53. And then right after that, I did not plan this out. We had the classified V2, which I haven't put a review out on yet, but I have tried out. It's really different than the first classified flavor. Still, we don't know the official fruits or whatever else that are inside of this tub. It smells very tropical, kind of beachy, if I can actually figure it out. Yeah, some citrus fruits, maybe honestly like a watermelon too, mixed in with like a coconut. Kind of tastes like a Miami Vice, but for the classified V2, I get a little bit less than I like the first classified flavor. I probably give this a 38. Golden apple pear. I've always been a fan of the golden apple pear, the green apple, sour green apple, and the Wampa fruit is also kind of similar to this. I think this one's a hit or miss with most of the people in the community. Either you love it or you don't want it at all. Smells good though. I'm excited to try it out again. Oh, that's just nice. Not quite got that sourness that the green apple does. A little bit lighter of a flavor as well. I think that the other apple flavors will rank higher than this, but it's solid, 77. Kind of nervous about this one because I wasn't a fan of it originally. I think that G Fuel dropped the ball a bit with the Party Punch G Fuel. It was said to be a fruity cereal, which where do you usually put your cereal? Inside of milk. Tried it in milk, and that was one of the top 10 worst decisions I have ever made in my life. Not good in milk, but it's in water. I know it's a little bit better there. Let's see if it gets anything above like a 10.
This is not right. This is not cool.
It's just weird, man. Like, I just don't like it. It's got a sourness to it that is almost like a sour berry right now. Like, it's not supposed to be sour. I can taste the cereal in the back end of the experience. This is gonna get a 9. This is not something that I like. I feel like G Fuel really dropped the ball with this. I think I rated it a bit better upon the first taste test that I did, but already having this in the face of all the other flavors, not standing up very tall. Speaking of things that I don't really like, I'm gonna get this one over with because it's been sitting here looking at me in the face. The Chili Dog G Fuel was one of the greatest achievements G Fuel's ever had. Honestly, some of the top inventions of our day and age. I'm not excited for this at all. It's not a good flavor. I mean, oh, it smells like indigestion. I'm ranking all of the flavors, so cheers. Let's try this out. Oh gosh. Oh, it's like pepper. There's not much to say about this. You took a chili dog and you made it something you could drink. It's not gonna get anything over a 5. Let's go in a more positive direction with a classic. The Berry is sweet and simple. Not a lot to say. A ton of different fruits mixed into this mixture. Let's go ahead and give this a swig to get that chili dog out of my mouth. Feels like home. Very sweet, very light. But there's a couple of flavors that we'll be trying out here today that feel just a bit nostalgic for me as a G Fuel consumer. There's a lot of simplistic fruits in this, so this is probably a good starter for a lot of people out there. But then again, it's nothing like super special to wow me. It's just comforting. So for that reason, I'll give it a 50. All right, so another top contender here, the Strawberry Slushie. Like I said before, G Fuel hasn't done a lot of stuff with strawberry flavors, but when they have nailed it on the head for me. Strawberry Slushie, inspired by One Shot Girl, is a nice, light, sweet mixture that reminds me of my favorite slushie from Target. So let's actually get a good flavor in here and see how much it wows me. Ooh. I mean, it's just a good flavor. I'm surprised it's not more popular than it is. This might be one of the most slept on flavors. It's super, super sweet. So I can see how some people might not gravitate toward it naturally. But out of 100 for me, I'll give it an 83. Another one of the classics, the Limeade. You gotta really try hard to mess up Limeade. I mean, I don't know of too many different energy brands or just lemonade things in general that I've had that are terrible. G Fuel is actually one of the better flavors of lemonade out there for flavored drinks. Go ahead and take another sip of this. Fell on my scarf a little bit. There are definitely some better reiterations of this flavor throughout this whole entire list here. One of which I'm excited for will be the Shiny Splash, which is a blueberry lemonade. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 88. Speaking of better versions of lemonade, we have the Hype Sauce, which is definitely gonna be up there for me still. The Hype Sauce was supposed to be a limited time flavor, but it was actually a fan favorite, so it stuck around for a long time, has had multiple reskins, got its own can version. But this raspberry lemonade is gonna be one of my favorite and most recommended flavors of G Fuel. Smells good. Let's see if it tastes good. It tastes good. See, this is one of the most well-balanced G Fuel flavors, having a nice contrast of the sweet and the sourness, the raspberry and the lemonade working together. Easily a 92. Going back to one of the first flavors of G Fuel that were ever produced, the Blue Ice. Just like the Berry, is a classic. It's a very good starter flavor, just being a blue raspberry. I know that the Sour Blue Chug-a-Rug, which is the sour version of this, is my favorite between the two. It just, again, smells like home. Classic flavor. Let's get a sip of that classic taste. I mean, that's good. You can try how you want. You can put fancy things on it. You can make all the marketing great, but this is just simple and good as it is. I'm gonna give her a 74. This next flavor was inspired by one of my favorite creators and someone I've become friends with over the last couple of years. Noisy Butters, or Hannah, has her own flavor of the Starfruit. This was actually one of my favorite flavors until Shiny Splash and Hype Sauce took its place. The Starfruit is nice, light, and sweet. One of my favorites that is actually not sour. Typically, you'll see a common theme with me throughout all of my reviews. I like things that have a bit more of a punch or a tang. I think that Starfruit taste is unbeatable. So let's give this one a try and rate it as well. Dang, it's been a minute since I've had it. This right here, gonna get an 87. Next up, we have the Raging Gummy Fish inspired by FaZe Jev. This was the second flavor of GFUEL I had ever gotten and tried, and it's never really been my favorite. The idea of Swedish fish sounds better than how it actually tastes. It's never been too special to me. It's been a very sweet flavor, very light. I usually have to put in like 1 or 2 scoops of powder to actually get the full taste. Let me see if it's any better now. Nope. Nah, nothing special. I'll go ahead and get this on to 20. Another one of our big dogs in the sour blue chug rug. This flavor has stuck by me through thick and thin when nothing else works out and I'm not in the mood for anything else. This is what I go to. Sour blue chug rug is one of my all-time favorites. Being a sour rendition of that blue ice we saw before. Has its own hydration formula, can formula. It's gotten so many reskins that I can't even count at this point. All inspired by FaZe rug. It's in this cup. It's FaZe cup. I didn't even plan that out, by the way. Smells good. Let's give it a let's go ahead and give it a go. It's like every time I take a sip is the first time I'm taking a sip. There's something about the sour element that was introduced at this time at GFUEL as well. Keep in mind, this was my first GFUEL review I ever did. It was so new. And there was something so special and nostalgic there for me whenever I take a sip of this. Because I remember being so blown away by the taste of this in comparison to everything else we had gotten. There was only one other sour flavor at the time, and it was the sour cherry, and I loved that. But what they did with the blue raspberry here just worked out so much better. I think for that reason, this is a 95, easily. And we're just getting good flavors back to back to back to back. Up next is the FaZe X. Being a winter white cherry blew me away when it came out, and this is one flavor that I'm waiting for to this day. GFUEL to come out inside of cans. So please make that happen soon, please, and thank you. Smells really good. It's a nice, easy flavor on the taste buds, but got a nice tanginess to it of that cherry. So let's go ahead and give this one a go. Like that a bit more than I thought I would. That's competing with some top spots right there. I mean, I remember really liking it, but it has been a couple months. There's more tartness to it than I remember. That cherry taste feels more natural than I think how some of the other cherry flavors will. I'm gonna put this at a 94, just right below that sour blue chug rug. 94 is what I'll give it for now. Type O, this is a flavor I haven't had in a long time. I mean, a couple years at this point. GFUEL sent this to me for review. I remember this is the first thing they ever sent to me for free to check out. So this has some nostalgic feelings behind it. I don't remember it being too special. I can't even remember what it tastes like. A fruit punch, maybe. Let's go ahead and try this out. Yeah, a lot lighter version of a fruit punch, I feel still. I can taste more of a watermelon presence than I remember, but I know that the fruit punch is coming up here soon. It's not gonna be as good as that, and I think the fruit punch is probably a mid tier. This could probably fall within a 44 and be fine with that. This is the first GFUEL flavor that I ever had. The green apple was something that introduced me to the whole entire world of GFUEL that I never knew would get me to this point. Because of GFUEL and all the opportunities I've had with this company, I've been able to pay for a house, start my life as an adult and move out of my parents' house, build up a brand that I never thought would get to this size. And it all started here with this green apple flavor, taking that first sip. It's obviously one of my favorites to this day. I love green apple. I wanted my personal flavor to be a sour version. Unfortunately, didn't get it, but let's try this out. Be reminded of all the success we've had. That golden apple pear just is nothing in comparison to this when you take a sip. Having the apple flavor isolated, and there is a natural tartness to a Granny Smith apple. I think this is probably better than the sour version, by the way, too. I don't know if I'm gonna like that as much. I remember not liking it originally as much as this. Let's go with an 82. 82. Saving the Bees Hive Nectar is up next. This is like orange juice on steroids. It smells so good, man. This is such good branding to the tub, by the way. Saving the Bees is a creator I'm not too familiar with, but I checked out his Twitter one time and it made me laugh. I'm happy he has his own flavor. Let's see what it ranks out of 100. Yeah, that's some good orange juice right there, bro. I feel like this is a very good attempt at an orange flavor. I've had some different products before that I'm not crazy about. I know that the caffeine-free orange we haven't had yet. That was kind of a miss in terms of orange flavoring. This right here is probably the pinnacle of what GFUEL has in terms of flavor. For that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 85. Another flavor in which I think is better inside of milk, candy corn, is like a caramel, sweet, buttery popcorn taste. And water, it's kind of weak. I mean, it's not gonna make me vomit, I know for sure, but will it rank very high? I don't think so. Let's see if it proves me wrong. Nope, not proving me wrong. It's not bad. It's actually way better than I remember it. That butteriness definitely comes out so much in the water, and it needs milk to allow it to feel more creamy. Here, it just feels like too much of an extra attempt at butteriness. Definitely not the best thing that I've had here today. We'll give it a 27. We got the juice for the juice lord himself, XQC, a streamer I've been watching for a long time. I think every single night I have a habit of getting into the bathtub, putting in my AirPods, eating some naan, and watching X stream. This is a really weird story. I meant to say he's a comfort streamer, and I know he's a comfort streamer for a lot of people too. His flavor is awesome. The citrusy watermelon jungle juice is a favorite of many out there, strictly because the juice lord himself drinks it. I've always liked it. It came out around the same time as the clickbait, and I thought it was very similar in taste, but I think this might be a little better, so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, this gets you going. This is a very energetic feeling flavor. It's very colorful in the taste. But what I mean by that is that you get some of the same elements with the flavors inside of the clickbait, with the cherry and the watermelon. But what they do here is kind of amp the flavor up a little bit more, so you feel like it's a bit more tangy and it feels more lively, which is very on brand for something like XQC. I think it's a very good flavor. I'm probably gonna give this an 86. We have Lyrics Peach Iced Tea. It's been reskinned as the 9 Lives like a year ago, and I don't know if Lyrics is still partnered with GFUEL. I think he is. But I remember the whole community loving this one, and I wasn't like crazy about it because I don't like tea flavored things. Peach stands out a lot more though. That's a redeeming factor. So take a sip and see what we rank it. Better than I remember. Still, in the grand scheme of things, not competing with the others even slightly, but the peach taste is nice. We need more peach flavored things from GFUEL. I hope we get some more in the new year. This peach iced tea, gonna get a 55 from me. A flavor for one of the tallest content creators out there, FaZe Apex. Another flavor that is strictly milk for me. Inside of water, very weak. I'm not gonna be too surprised by this one, I don't think so. Yeah, it smells very strawberry-ish. I mean, this is a hit for sure in milk, but let's try it out. This feels so similar to the strawberry slushy and water, but this is toned all the way down. It's like they added so much more flavor for One Shot Girl's flavor, but I can already taste where it needs to be. It needs to be somewhere a little bit more creamy, so it feels like cake pieces. It feels more dessert-like. Not too hot inside of water for me. I'm gonna give it a flat 30. I'm realizing that I haven't done a lot of reviews on these later 2021 releases. FaZe X is another one that I don't think I have a video on it yet, so this is your first time hearing my thoughts on this. I know that I filmed the review. Did I post it? I don't think so. We've been doing a lot of different things on the channel. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. I kind of forgot what it was like. It's not that memorable. Kind of guava-y. What if I just drink it through my nose? Can you imagine? All right, let's try it out. Ooh, lively, very colorful taste. There's some kind of durian fruit or something in here. Maybe jackfruits? There's a melony guava taste as well. It's a bit more lively than the guava is. I think the branding is really cool for this one. I mean, it's not gonna be better than anything in like the 70 range. I think I would place it in the lower 60s as a matter of fact, probably a 64. Another one of the first 4 flavors I ever had, the cherry limeade inspired by FaZe Sensor. My top forever until the sour blue chug rug came out. So I'm so sorry to Sensor, your flavor is not as good as rugs. Or maybe it is. Hey, maybe I'll be surprised how much I rekindled the flame here today. Nah, it's still kind of dead. No, it's good. It's a good flavor, bro. What they did with the cherry limeade is very interesting. I feel like limeade things don't typically last well when they're older tubs. Like the lemon lime I had before wasn't too great. I remember this one being better when it was fresh. So I don't know if it's probably expired. So maybe it's something about the limeade not tasting quite right. But from a cherry aspect, good. I mean, you get more limeade than you are getting cherry. Very mid though at this point in time, which I never thought I would say that years ago when it was my favorite. I'd be beating future me up when I was younger. I'll get this one a 60. We have not had another grapefruit related flavor in so long, and I feel like pink grapefruit was really slept on for the time that it came out. I hope I still like it as much as I think I did back then. I mean, it's been 3 years since that review. Let's go ahead and give this one a go as well. There's something a little too chalky about this though. And I did mix it up very, very well. I think it's just an experimentation flavor. So I definitely don't like it as much as I thought I would. The grapefruit taste is very potent. And that's what I think a lot of people would be after if they re-release this. If you're a grapefruit fan, you probably would like it. But again, this tub is expired. I'm probably not getting the best version of this. For today, it's a lot weaker than I thought it would be. Give it an 18. It's actually not as good as I thought it would be. We got the strawberry banana inspired by KSI. This was their first collab together. Since then, we've had a couple more things. Another one of those flavors, solid inside of milk, not so good in water. It is what it is, strawberry banana. I can smell so much banana when I get that sniff. See what it tastes like. Wow, I am actually blown away by how strong that banana taste is. Now, banana is not my like top fruit or anything like that, but I actually enjoy how strong of a taste this is in comparison to some of the last couple. Inside of water, it's gonna go higher than I originally thought, but it's probably not gonna go as high as you think it will. I will put this at 41. You got the snow cone here. I remember when this came out, I was so excited about it. I even did this big skit out in the snow with it with my brother, but it fell short of my expectations. It was very light. I was very positive about it at the time because I was trying to get a partnership with GFUEL. But I can be honest about it now because they pay my rent every month. From what I remember, it's been a while, but I remember being very light. So you need like 2 scoops to get a full effect. Let's see if that's still true. Yeah, still a very chalky taste, very light. I guess that's kind of what you're going for when you get a snow cone. A little bit of sweetness, feels like it could be a winter white cherry maybe. It's like a Phase X toned all the way down with a little pinch of blue ice. 34. You got the Cyber Punch, which is one of the 10 million reskins of the Fruit Punch. This is something they always reskin. There's a couple of those that always make the cycle every year. Fruit Punch, I guess, is a fan favorite flavor. It's consistent, you know what you're gonna get, so why not reskin 1,000 times? Let's see if it does today. I get it. I understand why they reskin this so much. It's a good flavor. This is one of those flavors, again, that is just recommendable to anybody new to GFUEL and they can taste it and go, I recognize this. I like this flavor. It's solid. It stands its ground. I'll give it a 74. I think at the time of recording this, the Radioactive Lemonade, which is inspired by Spider-Man No Way Home, fantastic movie, by the way, one of the best I've ever seen, is probably the newest release. And this is a lemon bubble pop, which is basically bubblegum lemonade. I think that this is the better take on bubblegum by far. The lemonade aspect to it just really brings it to life. I remember loving it, and I have so many cans of this flavor too. One of my favorites right now. You're gonna love this, so let's go ahead and try it out. What that lemonade does for that bubblegum taste, they marry each other. They spend their lives together. It's complementary to a point in which I think they should just take the regular bubblegum and lemonade off the market. This is how the flavor was originally intended. It's the perfect love child of the 2 flavors, and for that reason, I'm gonna give this one a 92. 92 from that flavor. It's one of my favorites lately. The dreaded tropical rain. Every year, inside of water and milk, I have to drink this flavor a couple times. Some of y'all out there that are like, yo, I love pool water, give me that. And you can have it. Take every one of these tubs. Take our yearly sip of tropical rain and rate it. Dang, man, where's the lifeguard? Because I'm swimming in some pool water right now. This is whack. I don't like this. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's not quite as bad as Chili Dog, but it's not any better than Party Punch. Okay, so earlier I said the classified is just basically this flavor of the Flavor Bomb inspired by the Free Guy movie. I wanna see if it's any better than the original flavor of the tub. Sometimes when they have these reveals or reskins, it actually is a bit enhanced for the taste because they improve the formula. See if that's true with this one. No, that's exactly the same. Yeah, it's no different than the last one. They have the same taste, maybe a little bit stronger than the watermelon, but that just may be because I put a little bit more powder in. It's gonna be the same exact rating as the original classified flavor. You know, I don't know what it is, but the Bobby Boysenberry is a flavor that I've had very little. Not because I don't like it, just because at the time that this came out, there was a ton of other really good flavors coming out. They kind of just drowned it out, so maybe this will kind of awaken it for me and it will go into my regular rotation. Boysenberry flavor is very unique, very similar to a Blackberry, which the only other flavor we had with that was the black on Blackberry years ago. Let's try this one out too. Very tangy. It's taking that black on Blackberry taste and adding a bit of sour to it. Tastes similar to a raspberry, and the tang is very nice and refreshing to it. I still don't think it's something that I'm gonna go to every time, but is it in the mid-tier range? Probably a little bit above, yeah. I would give this one a 78. All right, I'm gonna move to the regular bubblegum because I just tried the Radioactive Lemonade a minute ago. Like I said, they should just throw out this flavor and the regular lemonade because the first one that I tried here is so good. Let's see if bubblegum by itself stands up. I remember being so excited when I tried this at first. Let's see if that excitement still lives on today. Just so darn light. It's missing the lemon. You need to grow up and marry a lemon. 43. It's good. I mean, if you like bubblegum straight up and you don't like lemonade, maybe you'll like this. But for me personally, that like both, they need to have a child. All right, moving on to another never really high ranking flavor with the mystery flavor. This is straight up lychee. You know, I didn't mind the lychee in the Maiden's Blood, but there's nothing else to help it within the mystery flavor. It's just straight up lychee and it tastes like the doctor's office to me. I know one person, one streamer named Lucy. She's a friend of mine and she loves this. She's the only person I ever met that's crazy about this flavor. So let's get this one a go. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm being dramatic. It has a tang to it. There's this like minty mothiness that stays with you in the aftertaste experience. It takes away any kind of initial great thoughts you had about it. I give it a 15. Now, I said the Hive Nectar is one of the best orange flavors from G Fuel. One that also competes with it is the Blood Orange, but it is much better than a plain orange. It adds much more of an intense flavor. Let's try this one out too. Ooh, not quite as nice as that Hive Nectar. There's a little bit of a sweet aftertaste that comes with the Hive Nectar that I like better, but this initial tartness of a very intense blood orange feels so juicy in your mouth, and I think that orange enthusiasts would love this. You probably also would love the Hive Nectar. Myself, I like this a little less than the Hive Nectar. I probably would give it an 80. Going back to Florida, we have the Miami Nights, which again is like sunscreen in powder form. Never been crazy about this one, and I know it's a little bit better than some of the other tropical flavors out there. It's inspired by the Miami Vice alcoholic drink. Obviously, there's no alcohol in this. Got a little bit of a strawberry scent and taste. Coconut comes through a lot for me typically, but let's see if it's any different today. I'm not crazy about these tropical fruits. Is it just me? Is anybody else out there with me that just tastes things that are like this with coconut in it? Not crazy. Gonna go ahead and give this one a 26. Some of y'all gonna be real mad about this list. This is gonna be a good one. The Venom inspired Black Ooze. I do think that the Red Ooze is a little better than this, but the Black Cherry was a really nice addition to the G Fuel lineup of flavors. I have gone through one whole tub of this already. Let's go ahead and add to that and take a sip of the Black Cherry. Ooh, something just so sweet and satisfying about this. But just wait, when we get to that Red Ooze, they kick it up a notch. That taste is way better sour, but originally by itself, I like it so much that I'd probably go ahead and give it an 87. Another top 10 contender with the sour Phaseberry. Another phase flavor. This is a way better version of that Phaseberry we tried before. I think when things need a boost, make them sour. Something's wrong in life, sour it. No exception with this one. I know this would be a top ranking flavor. It always is. Go ahead and give it a go. I'm spilling this all over my clothes. That's nice. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the pomegranate that comes out more in this mixture than it does with the original Phaseberry. When you have sour pomegranate, there's something special there. I think this one is a little bit better than that Radioactive Lemonade. I'm gonna put it at 93. The Tetris flavor is arguably one of the most appealing designs of any G Fuel tub that we have. The cans are great. I really enjoyed this collab they did with Tetris. It's supposed to be like a Skittles, which I think personally, after drinking it after some time, the flavor can be a bit overbearing, but I haven't had it in a while, so it probably tastes pretty good. It smells just like a bag of Skittles, very sweet. It smells like a cream soda too for some reason, so let's give this a swig. Ooh, the sweetest thing we've had yet. It's like a bottle of syrup in your mouth. But if you like syrup in your mouth, this might be for you. I don't know. I feel like when it came out originally, I probably would have ranked it higher. That's why doing this video at the end of the year is so good, because you can kind of take a step back and analyze everything from a fresh set of eyes, not just hype of when it's out and new. It's not too special in comparison to some of these other ones we've had today, to be honest. So I'm gonna give it a 73. Here it is. This is what they took from me. My sour green apple, which was supposed to be my flavor, was made into its own flavor for St. Patrick's Day last year, I believe. I was in LA, and when I got the news of it, I just dropped my phone and started crying for 3 days. G Fuel, after all we've been through, you didn't give this to me? In all seriousness, I think it's great. I don't think I liked it as much as the original. They could have added more for the sour from what I remember, but see if that's true. Oh no, wait, that is sour. Either I added a lot of powder or that was way more sour than I remember. Maybe I was just like too hurt by not getting this flavor for myself, and I was just like, no, the original's better. That's good, man. That's a great apple taste with great sourness. Way more than I remember. Not even close. That's way better. This is a top 10. I'm not joking. Probably right on par with the Phase X. I'm gonna give this one a 94. I'm blown away. This is the first blown away that we've had yet. Crisp apple taste, a nice sweet edging off after a rush of sour flavor. It's still not as good as it would be if it were mine. Moving from that over to a very sweet moon pie. If you guys know anything about moon pie, it's marshmallows and chocolate together. And I did not like this flavor in milk or water, but you know, it was a long time ago. My palate has matured. Maybe it's a nice difference from what we just had in the sour. Let's try it out. That's wrong. Guys, I'm all for chocolate. I'm all for things that are marshmallow, but there's something not right about it, the taste of a moon pie. I don't know what it is about the marshmallow being in the liquid form. You know, this is definitely not anywhere near some of our bottom ranking, you know, in the single digits, but I think this is better inside of milk. Even in milk, I feel like the taste could be way better for that chocolate. It could be sweeter, could be a little less bitter. I'm gonna get a 12. Midway check, by the way, if you guys are not already subscribed, go ahead and check that subscription bell. I've hopefully made you laugh a couple times. If I have, just subscribe. It's easy and it's free. And comment down below a thank you to my editor, Chad. He's been great with me all year through these reviews and every other bit of content I've done. He's editing this huge video, which is already over an hour and 30 minutes long. So say thank you to Chad and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Now, on a more depressing note, we have the caffeine-free orange. I wasn't gonna even include this because I was trying to only include things that are the regular caffeine formula. Somehow I made a scoop of it, so we're gonna go ahead and try it out. I don't really remember it being great, so let's see. Yeah, no, that's not special. It's like everything good about an orange was just like stripped back. Still think there is an orange taste there, but it's definitely different without that caffeine. This is an early concept for the orange flavoring, I believe too. I mean, it's a really, really old flavor. This tub expired 2 years ago. So nothing to blow me away. I'm gonna give it a 19. Grape is something that gets overlooked a lot. I feel like it's better when it's sour with the sour pixel potion. I ain't got no problem with grape. It's something that I should drink more of because it's one of the last flavors that we have going on here. It probably will be higher up in my stack, so maybe I'll actually drink it for once. Smells good though. Let's go ahead and give it a sip. It is a very, very similar taste to grape Kool-Aid, which I was always a huge fan of. And because of the fact that it gives me energy and it also has no sugar in it, same time, it's better. But if you're looking for a similarity or something you can compare to, go get some grape Kool-Aid, try that out. It's exactly like that. I think it's mid-range. It's definitely not the best we have, but it's no worse than a 56. All right, let's move over to a painful one. We got the spicy Demonate. And warning, if you ever buy this, do not open it up and sniff the powder. Obviously, don't sniff any powder. That's bad for your health. This one is extra bad because it stings. It was very bold at the time for GFUEL. We had nothing like the chili dog, so this was obviously the most wild we were getting. Spicy lemonade, not my favorite. It stays with you for a while. Hoping it's not that bad today and the lemonade can kind of take over, but let's get through it, get it over with. Oh, it stings in the back of your throat. Feel it right here. I took a little sip and it just kind of coats your mouth. Lemonade tastes really good. I'm a fan of anything lemonade GFUEL, but that spiciness takes it down for me a whole bunch. I'm gonna give it a 32. All right, next up, we got the Nemesis Tea flavor. I think this is the last tea-related flavor that we have. And I like this one more than our first peach iced tea. I remember this being a little bit lighter in the tea flavoring. I think it has some citrusy elements to it. I mean, it's orange here, so that's what I'm assuming. It's been forever since I had this. Let's go ahead and try it out as I jitter from all the caffeine I've had. Very nice, very subtle, but nothing too special. I feel like there's some citrusy elements in there, but I can taste tea more than I remember, and I don't really like that. I'll give it a 56. This is the Dove Melon Mint inspired by Daquan, which, you know, I have one of my favorite streamers, and he just disappears a lot. Every time he goes to stream, he disappears. I think because of like health issues. I hope he's okay. But at the time when they made this, everybody was crazy about it back in the Fortnite days. It's a mint watermelon, which doesn't sound too great, but I remember being a fan. Let's see if it's still true. Ooh, very light, very nice. Typically, mint's not a really great thing for me, but there's something so winter season about this, which I think is around the time that it came out, and it fits right now. It's the middle of December. You guys are watching this on the last day of December, and I think it fits nice to the season, so I'll give it a 57. Oh, let's go right to the watermelon after that, too. I want to see what it's like without that mint aspect, if it's any better. Same thing, but without the mint, so let's go ahead and try it. You know, I kind of like it a little bit more with the mint, surprisingly. This was another really early flavor of GFUEL, so it stayed around for a very long time. I typically like watermelon flavored things more than I like actual watermelon. I don't like it at all. They nail it on the head with the fake watermelon taste. That melon mint, a little bit better though. This will get a 51. Now we got the Pink Drip, another 2021 release. Supposed to be like a pink starburst, and I'm a huge fan of pink starburst. I don't remember this like shocking me. From what I remember, this is a little bit sweeter and lighter. So let's see how it is with one scoop. A little bit more tangy than I remember. It lives up to the name. It's just a pink starburst. If you guys enjoy that, but a little bit dialed back, this is for you. If you want that full taste of the starburst, I'd say go ahead and add in 2 scoops into your mixture. That's good enough to get a 66 from me. Here's an OG that I don't think you can get your hands on right now. This is the GFUEL Cotton Candy. At the time, inspired by Keemstar. I don't even know what he's doing anymore. I haven't blocked on Twitter, I think, literally. This expired quite a while ago, so I don't know if it's gonna taste as great. I do know that this is a great milk flavor. Tastes like a vanilla bean frappuccino when you put it in milk. But for water, I was never a huge fan. Very light, it's simple as it is. Give it a try. Much nicer than I remember. Now this feels like a better version of the snow cone for some reason. And again, I can taste why it's good inside of milk. That cotton candy comes out way better when it's a creamy drink. I'm actually gonna mid-tier this, maybe a little bit above mid-tier. I'll give this a 68. I'm a little surprised with how much I like this. So the better of the 2 Sonic collabs that we have with the Sonic Peach Rings, being just like the Peach Rings candy. It's one of my favorite sweet flavors too. But this one blew the other collab that did with Sonic way out of the water. I'm still waiting for a Knuckles flavor, which hopefully with the new Sonic movie coming out next year, we'll get something like that. Surely we'll see more Sonic flavors, but let's go ahead and try out the classic Peach Rings. Oh, that's good. I love the peach taste. I mean, I have a ton of cans too. I feel like this flavor is almost nostalgic for me. I would always get those peach ring candies growing up. Whenever we go to Blockbuster, we pick up some candies at the end of the trip. I think I'll give it an 84. All right, next up is another sour flavor. This was the first sour flavor we ever got. Sour cherry. Now, this was dethroned by an array of different sour flavors from GFUEL, but probably one of the better, if not best, cherry flavors that we have from this energy company. This flavor stands the test of time. Let's see if that's true in our winter white shaker here and give it a sip. It's good. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as a lot of the other sour flavors. I feel like it's a little bit more sweet in comparison to a lot of the other sour flavors. Maybe I just need more powder. Maybe it's been sitting here for a while, but it is a really good tasting flavor. So I think I'll give it around an 83. Another spicy flavor. This one's a little bit more palatable. The Scorpion Sting is a spicy mango, and I think this is an awesome flavor to mix with other flavors. That's one thing I haven't touched too much on today as I've done this whole ranking, is that there's a lot of flavors here that I don't love, but they end up being better with other mixtures. This is one that I think is fantastic with the red ooze, but let's go ahead and see what it ranks. Yeah, profoundly less spiciness in that spicy Demonate, but still, this has got a kick to it. It just takes away from that good mango flavor. And I know spicy mangoes is like an actual street food. People really enjoy this. But for me, I think I prefer the sweet taste of the mango. This takes away from it a good bit, but I'll still put it in mid-tier because the flavor of the mango is good. So like a 57. Next up, we got the Yuzu Slash, the second Pewdiepie flavor. I'm waiting on more collabs from them, or even this inside of a can. Pewdiepie Yuzu Slash was something I heavily slept on when I tried this out earlier this year. I moved home and I was like super sick when I was filming this review, so I guess it didn't taste as good, but I came back to it when I did the hydration review and I apologized to it because it's so darn good. Yuzu Fruit is very similar to like an orangish lemonade, and to me it's very mind-blowing. This is something I drink regularly. This is actually my 3rd tub I've gone through since I think July. Let's go ahead and test it out. Smells fantastic already. One of the best flavors today, if not the best. I'm not gonna lie, the last couple have had me kind of resident sleeper. They're not bad, but there's nothing above like peach rings or sour cherry. This goes far beyond. I think this is competing with the top spots. I only see 1 or 2 more that might compete with this. I think the Yuzu Slash is a 96, guys. Funny story about this ugly sweater, which is like a strawberry kiwi. I was supposed to send this tub to my editor last year because he won it in a giveaway, but his country doesn't allow this to be shipped there. Who knew? I couldn't get it over to him, so it got sent back to me and Chad. Sorry about that. I have your tub right here. Anyways, it's a great flavor. Kiwi Strawberry is very sweet. One of the earliest flavors that I had, probably the first 5 that I tried from GFUEL. They've reskinned it a couple times. This year we got the Jingle Juice. Last year we got the ugly sweater. Let's go ahead and see where it ranks. Again, strawberry is just done so well by this company. I feel like certain fruits shine more than others when it comes from GFUEL flavors, and strawberry is one of the top, other than like orange maybe. Any kind of raspberry, orange, lemonade, or strawberry from GFUEL is pretty solid. This is no exception. One of the best strawberry flavors for sure. I would probably give this one an 86. The Scarlet Nexus inspired Brain Drive is also really new. I don't know what this is. I think I've tried it before. When you have as many GFUEL flavors as me, you kind of lose track of a couple. Smells citrusy, has some melon elements to it. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh yeah, very light citrus taste. This is actually quite nice. I'd probably give this like a 46 6. All right, so we got KSI flavor number 2 and the orange vibe. I think this is profoundly better than his first flavor and the banana strawberry. Again, an amazing milk flavor. I remember it being okay in water, but try this in milk and blow your socks off. Doesn't belong in water like that. It's like a cream soda at least. I mean, maybe you add 3 scoops and get maybe somewhat near that orange taste you need. Inside of water, 22. Black on Blackberry, a rare flavor to get your hands on these days, especially in this skin. One flavor that I constantly ask G Fuel for a sour rendition of is the Black on Blackberry. Very sweet, a little too sweet for me typically. But I do know in my time in the G Fuel community, those who favor sweet flavors typically like this. It's more of a natural blackberry taste. So let's see if that natural blackberry taste holds up after 3 years of being expired. Oh wow, super light, man. And I'm just not about the super light ones. Again, make this sour, you got something that can sell me. A lot of these here would not be as good as they are without a more tangy element to them. Some of that being like ice shatter. If it was strictly just sweet, probably wouldn't like it as much. You give this a little bit more tang, we'll talk. 24. Here's another tropical flavor inspired by Roman Atwood. We have the Bahama Mama. This is also another GP flavor that has its own can flavor. Not too big on the tropical stuff, but I know the citrusy flavors redeem it for me. So let's try this. Really good orange taste, but I just can't get over the coconut. Can't get over things that taste like sunscreen, guys. I'm sorry. 33. You know what? While I'm here and I already got the taste in my mouth, let's try the actual coconut. Not gonna even explain what I think about this. Not gonna go through it. Yeah, I've already said it enough times. Oh gosh, like it's coconut, but it's salty coconut. Jeez, I wish I liked coconut. Am I crazy? Has anybody had this before and go, oh my gosh, maybe better in milk? I forget how it is in milk at this point. I'm gonna give that an 8. I don't like coconut. I don't know, you can't convince me. 8. We got one I'm really excited for in the Wampa Fruit. I've been looking for this flavor recently. I couldn't find it. I have moved from LA to Virginia and this got lost in some boxes. So I've been waiting to try this for a while. Kind of like a golden apple pear, but a little bit sweeter. Nice crisp apple taste from what I remember. I think the Wampa Fruit is really, really close to the top 10, not quite in it though. I would give it an 89. Nice balance of the sweet and the sour tanginess of an apple. You know that thing I said earlier about things being better when they're sour? Well, here you go. We got Grape, which was already pretty good. Made sour with the Sour Pixel Potion. Now, this was released at the last TwitchCon we had before, you know, the cheese touch was a thing. I didn't go to that because I just didn't feel like it that year. And man, do I keep myself because I wish I got a chance to go to TwitchCon. Definitely gonna go in this next year. If you guys are going to TwitchCon, let me know about it. Maybe we'll get a new G Fuel flavor around then. Let's try the sour grape. To this day, one of the most sour flavors that we have. Way more sour than anything I've had yet so far. And I'm a fan of that. I like the sour. I really like the grape, but I said, you take it, you apply it to a good flavor already, you make it something worth a top 10. I am surprising myself with how much I like this. It's kind of refreshing after all those bad flavors I had. I'm gonna give it a 90. We're down to our final 4 flavors for today. This one right here is the Rainbow Sherbet. The original tub that I have has been reskinned a couple times. It's a very sweet flavor. I always loved Rainbow Sherbet growing up. It's been a while since I had this, and I also know it's not too bad in milk either. It's like they took the orange cream soda and made it a little bit better. I feel like the orange creamsicle from KSI is very, very weak. There's something extra in here that's a bit more tangy that would give it about a 29 inside of water. Quick question for everybody, is Team Caliber still a thing? Because this twisted candy inspired by them came out a long time ago. I have not heard anything about Team Caliber on Twitter in a long time. So if they still exist, let me know. I remember they were all the rage in Call of Duty back in the day, and they got their own G Fuel flavor, and right after, I just haven't heard too much from the team. Very sweet from what I remember. It probably has been about 2 years since I drank it consistently. Let's take a trip down memory lane and try this out. Better than I thought. I thought this was gonna be low to mid 20s, but honestly, it's probably gonna go up to the 30s. I would give this a 35. It's nothing mind-blowing, but the taste of the candy is very, very sweet. If you don't like more artificial taste, you probably could stay away from this one, but I like a nice taste of some candy sometimes, so I'll give it a 35. Future Duck here. Turns out I almost missed 3 flavors that were supposed to be in this ranking, 2 of which I didn't have yet, but luckily came in before the end of the day today. So I'm throwing this into the edit. We're gonna take a look at the Sugar Plum, the coffee flavor, and the Blood, Sweat, and Tears flavor. Number 1, we have the French vanilla coffee flavor. This is so good inside of milk, and I don't think I've ever enjoyed it inside of water. Coffee smell and taste is usually pretty great, but from what I can remember, it tastes pretty watered down. Go ahead and give this one a go as well, and we'll see where we rank it. The vanilla comes through so well. It's like a Frappuccino with some heavy cream in it. And because of that, I think it goes so much better inside of milk than it does with water. Let's look at a 33 out of 100. Next is our absolute newest flavor that you can actually only get at Micro Center. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Super Meat Boy inspired flavor. Now, I tasted the can a couple of days ago. It's like red hot tamales, and I did not really love it in the can. But you know what? Maybe red hot tamales are better inside of water. Try it out and rank it. This is an instance where I feel like the powder is way better than the can. Flavors are pretty intense, but when you add that carbonation, it feels a little too overwhelming to me. There's a sweetness to this that kind of edges off that cinnamon that feels a bit more satisfying in this mixture. Still, it's such a different taste. I give it a 49. The last flavor that comes with a shaker cup for all of my friends out there that are under 6 feet tall, the Sugar Plum. This is also one of our most recent winter releases. It comes with this adorable little shaker cup. I've never tried this before, so this will be my first taste test of this flavor. Let's go ahead and try out the Sugar Plum, and I'll let you guys know what I think. That's a really nice take on a sweet flavor. Feels like straight up sugar cubes in your mouth, which is ironic because GFUEL has no sugar in it. It's a similar frosty element that you would get with a Phase X or an Ice Shatter. I feel like they applied to this sugary plum taste. And I don't know if it's because I'm drinking out of an elf cup and I'm just having a great time, but I really like this flavor. 86 out of 100 for the first taste test for me. I saved my 2 top contenders for the very end here. I have the Shiny Splash. I also have the Red Ooze. Now these 2 I know are gonna compete for the top 10 spot, hands down. I just think that one of these 2 probably would be my most favorite. I also thought this about Ice Shatter, but I wanted to save these final 2 to let you guys know what my favorite of the 2 are, because I talked so much about these recently. So, start out, I'm probably gonna give the Shiny Splash a go. Inspired by A-Drive, this is a blueberry lemonade. It dethroned the hype sauce, the sour blue chug rug for me, got rid of the noisy butter star fruit. A-Drive and GFUEL killed this one. By the way, I love A-Drive's content, big Pokemon fan. Let's try this out. Let's see how it ranks in the final 2 flavors. Like, this has been sitting here the entire time I've recorded this. I've been recording for 2 hours now. Taste is that good. Once it hits the water, it penetrates and permeates with flavor. And this is what makes a top 10, a top 5. I give it a 97. I do have high hopes for this last one. About to try out. I've talked about the Red Ooze time and time again. It's a great flavor to mix, great flavor by itself. But finally, to end things off on our taste test of all the flavors that I have, the Venom inspired Red Ooze, which is a sour version of the Black Ooze, which we saw before. Give the last flavor of this recording a go. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Cheers with me for the last one. Let's see what we think. This is like picking a child. It's tough. I have to actually go back. I know I drink a lot of GFUEL today. I'm cracked. I'm staying up all night. Take one more sip of each. I think today, my final rating will still go to the Shiny Splash because this is a 96. Shiny Splash is king. I think there's just something there with that lemonade that comes through a little bit better mixed with the blueberry. A-Drive is on top. Shiny Splash is the #1 flavor for me. And there you have it, everybody. I know there was a couple flavors left off of this list because I just couldn't get my hands on it, but I have tried every flavor that has ever come out to this point. You can also go to the link down below to look over my full tier list. Also, I'll have a blank tier list down below for you to make your own and share it with me over on Twitter. Thank you for another amazing year. Shiny Splash is my favorite flavor as of the end of 2021. Just again, guys, it's been a long time, 3 years since I made my first review on this stuff. And I know that we're about to move into a new season of doing a ton of new content. But every year, I want to try to revisit this idea for a video and give you guys an idea of what my favorites are. If you've been along for the journey, 3 years or 3 days, thank you so much. God bless you guys. Go get some Shiny Splash because it's the best flavor out there, according to me. Do never touch chili dog. And if you enjoyed everything as much as I did, go ahead and drop a sub-like, which subscribe, a like, and a comment, and I'll see you